It's Tuesday, gotta play the title Tuesday. You know I had to start today's chess today with a little bit of a jam because everybody's looking forward to the title Tuesday. I'm not even sure who's going to be there. We expect Hikaru to play, as usual. Not sure who else is going to be there, but we're going to talk about more than just the title Tuesday today. I want to draw your attention to something that is so awesome and happening on our site that probably a lot of people don't know about. And that's the group and event that Mr. Gleason started, the Untitled Tuesday. Awesome, right? The Untitled Tuesday that is currently just member run and kind of on a volunteer basis, and a whole bunch of people that want to get together to have some fun, serious chess, and they're not title players. But in the future, I can give you a preview, may actually have a little more of a chess.com sponsorship behind it. We're pretty excited to see what Mr. Gleason has done here, and these events are growing in popularity. So if you have never played an Untitled Tuesday, you should check this out. And I'll give the link in the chat. And all you have to do is join his club right here. The integration between clubs and the more and more we try to build up club battles, like matches, like kind of like mini pro chess leagues and all kinds of stuff going on is just really fun. So check out the Untitled Tuesday and let me know if you've ever played in one of those before. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the Title Tuesday, do a little bit of a preview of the top players that are going to be here today. But first and foremost, as you know, on the Chess Today show, we start with the Daily Double. Thank you, Mr. Trebek. Okay. Well, instantly we see a maiden one on this one, and going to be pretty hard for Danny to screw up this one. I have, if this is your first time watching the Chess Today show live, who am I kidding? I've got about 20 people that watch the show. You've all seen it before. But the struggles I've had in the Daily Puzzle have been well known. They've been well publicized. Lots of YouTube commenters. And if I'm here to make you entertained, are you not entertained? You know what I'm saying? Then, you know, you're welcome. So as much as it's hard to watch me pull a Michael Scott from The Office, and you like watching a tragic comedy, and it's so awkward to see Danny screwing up, missing a mate in 3. As awkward as that is for you on a humorous level, you're welcome for making you feel good about your tactics. Let's dive right into some more chess while we let the chat get going here. A lot of people in here. Hakeem 5050, Stephen X Jones. We've got Space Bona. We've got BJH13, subscriber, thank you. We got Geppetto. We got a bunch of people in here. TT Hype. Well, the TT Hype is real, you know. The TT Hype is real. Robin Van Kampen, Grandmaster Robin Van Kampen of the Chess Bras will be hosting in T-minus about 55 minutes. So before we go today, we will check out who has already signed up early, but make sure you stick around for Mr. Van Kampen's coverage. Switching over to the Chess TV chat. Saying hi to Diamond Sparkle 1001. He's been here from the beginning, so got to give him a shout out. Chess Artist 007. Chess Artist today says he upgraded today, just became a premium member, and he's already learning things he didn't know about chess for 8 years. Well, awesome. Love to hear that. A dumb brat says lost his rating points. That's sad to hear. So sorry for that. John HS, thanks for being a regular, loyal follower. But let's do some chess, because I got some games going on. I joined a new tournament, as you know. I don't even think any of these games are from that. Maybe they are. But interested and exciting to get some more instructive chess going on. And I need to get my rating above 2200. So let's set a Chess Today goal to hold Danny accountable for his chess. So, all right, my opponent has taken on b5 early. This is not necessarily the most normal line in the Bloomenfeld. This variation that I play here with e6, obviously you intend to get a Nimzo Indian, and after knight f3 you have many options if you are a Nimzo player. You can play a Queen's Indian position a la Sergei Karyakin. You can play d5, also totally totally normal, and a lot of players just transpose into QGD type structures. You can even get a Rogozin type structure if you play d5 and then still want to get bishop to b4 if you're one of those players. But I like to play these variations with c5 and then b5. The Bloomenfeld gambit is just a personal favorite of mine. It's been played by top players from time to time. I don't know that it's 100% sound to like grandmaster level preparation, but it's certainly a worthy dynamic approach. Now, normally white has two main options. You can capture on e6 and then take on b5 and actually win the pawn. And the positional idea behind the Bloomenfeld is not like the Benko where you're sacrificing the queen side to get a bunch of open lines here. You're sacrificing the queen side to get a big center, and you're hoping that center might launch to, you know, maybe the bishop coming here. You've got the open f file. Right, you're hoping that the center leads to sort of the potential for an attack on the king side most of the time, not really just a pure queen side counterplay gambit like the Benko gambit. You can also play bishop to g5 and decline the gambit. This is pretty standard. I think by many people's account, they tend to feel like white gets its best edge, like a good Benoni in some of these positions. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but that's a very popular way. Of course, anybody who knows ginger, right? Once you go ginger, you never go back. Anybody who knows the Ginger G, you know that he plays e4. And as much as we love that Simon has a complete reckless and disregard for Eddie the e-pawn, I'm not sure what Eddie ever did to him, but this gambit is interesting, and certainly black has to be careful. But none of those are really, all of those are more common than what Mr. R Factor 33 did here, where he took. So I'm going to take on d5. The only question is, I mean, one thing you can do in these positions, actually, if I just want to play a traditional Bloomenfeld, I can actually just play a6. And likely after he captures e6, which is likely, and I take back, we're getting a direct transposition into the main line. You know, so I can add a comment here. You know, I love using our, you know, if I'm interested in transposing into the main line Bloomenfeld, this is an option. I love using our tools and saving them. So so that's a possibility, but I think that I'll probably play knight takes, and then what happens on e4 in these positions? I don't even remember, but I think that black is just fine. I guess, you know, the thing is, if you go for something like this, you're not down a pawn, but white also has, you know, more of a development lead than he would normally have. They're all totally playable. I was kind of committed to getting a regular Bloomenfeld, so I might just play a6 and actually make the choice of transposing. But I do want to spend more time working on knight takes d5 because I feel like I've gotten in trouble in some blitz games there. So, to be continued. All right, queen to c7. You guys know I'm playing Terminoil because we've talked about this game in the last Chess Today show. We were discussing the possibility that he might, after a5, play a move like knight takes e4. And then we analyzed a couple things. One of them was just knight takes e4 and then moving the knight, and felt like this was actually going to be okay. He actually didn't. He just castled, and I went for a5. Oh, no. I didn't go a5 before. I played a5 now. And he didn't play knight takes e4. He played queen to c7. So does that really change anything? I guess it does. If I castle and he takes it and I take it and he plays d5, and if I move the knight and he recaptures, it changes a number of things. It may also allow me to get the move knight f5, but after bishop f6, as much as this is normally a very effective outpost square against this structure, it's not really coming with enough of a follow-up because I have to do something about the tension here, and his bishop is hitting my knight. Doesn't feel right. Any other options? You know, I can take here, but then he might take here instead of the bishop, and I'm dropping the e-pawn. So there's always bishop takes f7, right? Return to glory with bishop takes f7, and then bring the knight in. And this is actually more interesting than it was before because the queen isn't on the knight. So now if he does something, you know, whatever that is, I could actually take here maybe, and he's not just winning the knight here. That's a big deal. If some sort of massive trade ends up happening, how do we evaluate that? I don't even know. There's so many options here. So many options, not enough time, yeah? It's strange, but it's also not exactly, not exactly just mind-blowing for me. Computers might consider moves like g4, maybe? No, I doubt it. Oh, maybe. And if they go rook f6 Here I have nothing. I have nothing. It is waste of time. Okay. Well, do I really want to go out of my way to prevent the idea of him taking on e4? I might, but the problem if I move the bishop back, getting, going away from the possibility that he might take e4 and play d5, is that after takes and knight to c5, he gains a tempo on the bishop and the pawn. And if I'm forced to, say guard the pawn, I have to be ready to play this position without the bishop pair. Which I don't know if it's the end of the world, right? But it's, I don't know. It's one of the reasons why they like the bishop on e2 in a lot of these positions, as much as the bishop is fancier, schmancier on this diagonal, right? It kind of gets in the way of the overall flow of the position, which is something you always have to be aware of, is where your pieces belong in the bigger picture purpose, the cohesive purpose and structure, not just, oh, my bishop look active right here, right? He's got a nice little active square, right? Well, maybe he does, but maybe the bishop isn't where he needs to be for other tactical reasons or positional reasons. So always something to consider as you develop your pieces. Chicka chicka boom boom. Will there be enough room? Chicka chicka boom boom. Will there be enough room? A told B and B told C, meet me at the top of the coconut tree. Along comes D and tag along E. Sorry, it's a kid's book. One move I can consider here, the more I look at it, is bishop g5. That kind of prevents knight takes e4 tactically because the bishop on e7. And I don't really buy that this is like the best option for him. Seems like a bit much, right? So if that's the case, bishop g5 is kind of useful. And then if he plays rook e8, again, I can castle, and I'm already much less worried about tactics here. I really like bishop g5, actually. I'm going with it. Let's do it. Just the moment I saw that, sometimes it comes to you quickly. You have to be careful about that. A calculation piece of advice I was given by Grandmaster Grigory Kaidanov, Grisha Kaidanov, is that you have to be careful when you're analyzing a position and you've been calculating variations and you're not really satisfied with any of them, and then you consider a new move for the first time and you instantly love it. Part of the emotional dissatisfaction with your previous candidate moves sometimes makes you look at the new move with a little bit of a higher value, right? It's, like the grass is greener kind of thing. So that's not always the case, and at a certain point, time is always of the essence, and you have to trust your intuition. If you've calculated enough about the position, and it can kind of justify this move. But be careful about falling in love with moves that are like the third candidate move you consider, because it may be that you like that move even more because of your dissatisfaction with the other moves, and it might not actually be a reflection of how deeply you calculated that move or a proper evaluation. So it's a little bit of psychological advice for y'alls today. You're like, thanks, Danny. We didn't ask for that. Get back to work. Okay, stop yelling. Knight comes out to c6, d4. We have a Sicilian. And just like that, Bob's your uncle, and we dive into the Chess Today chat for the first time. I see it's been a busy chat. You guys are all here, rocking and rolling. Thanks for being here on the Chess Today show. If you're watching it on replay, thanks for tuning in. So let's dive in. Deep Fluke says, I'm boring today. He doesn't want Danny. He wants Uncle Sasha or that weird German dude. First of all, the weird German dude his name is Gunther, okay? Every character has a name, okay? We have Uncle Sasha. We have Gunsa, okay? Right, we got Jack, right? Jack from the Outback, right? We've got Tim, right? Tim is my English guy. His name is Tim. Hello. Right, I'm here. Good day, Tim, right? So everybody has their own. Don't disrespect the weird German dude and not call him by his name. His name is Gunther. Let's see, what else we got? We got Swap for Prez is talking about when Title Tuesday starts. That's good. A lot of people who are tuned in early. It is 12:15 local standard Pacific time. So that's where I am, Pacific time. Mr. Robin Van Kampen will be hosting Title Tuesday coverage for you. We'll dive in to see who the players are in just a moment. A lot of people asking for challenges. I don't know that today's going to be a member play show. But thanks for asking. What's going on in the Chess TV chat? People using the chess emoticons. Robert Hess is here for his one shout out. Robert Hess, there's your shout out, buddy. Where were you? I asked you to play Bug House this week and you disappeared. Robert Hess, The fans are disappointed in you. So how's that? Your shout out on Chess TV just quickly went to public shaming and scorn. So that's on you that we didn't have a Bughouse show this week, buddy. You know, you need to pull it together, Mr. Robert Hess. What else we got? What else we got? We got a lot. We got Israel Blunderson, one of my favorite names still. Frankie Sheehy is saying he's currently watching and loving the Pawn Structure 101 series. That's awesome. Glad you're not a Diamond member, so don't know exactly how you're getting all those videos, but more power to you. Anyway, thanks everybody for being here. All right, you didn't text or call me. Don't blame this on me, okay? You are never there for me when I ask, Robert. I have texted you so many times. Oh, there you are right there, texting me back. LOL. Robert has... Okay, don't blame me for this, young man. You didn't get back to me. Any Hooters. I got a lot of texts over the last few minutes. Right. Well, so yeah, we do need counseling. We're working on our relationship. You know, it's an intimacy issue, mainly with Robert. I'm obviously not afraid to share my feelings. You see it, right? Robert's been having some intimacy issues. We're going to talk about it. Not the kind of intimacy issues that they make a pill for, if you know what I'm saying, right? You know, those other issues, which they do kind of make pills for, but what are the long-term effects, right? You start mixing Zoloft with Lipitor, next thing you know, you got dementia, right? Who knows what's going on? So let's not trust pharmaceutical companies. Let's dive into the live chess arena and see who's playing. I bet you Grandmaster Robert Hess has already signed up. He usually does. No. Oh, I have to join to see? Okay, we'll join and then I'll withdraw later because I'm not actually going to be able to play today. Ah, Dmitry Andreikin here to defend his title. Say what? We got Tennis Master. Who's Tennis Master? Who's Tennis Master? Duh. This is Yunivsky. Oh, Yunivsky Grandmaster Quesada. All right, there you go. Grandmaster Quesada is in. We know who Ronaldo. We know who Wonderful Time is. Who's this guy? It says it in Russian. I know how to read Russian. I know he's from Odessa. No, it's Ukrainian. Is that why I'm having a little bit? Okay, who else we got? Alex Shimonov, Grigor Grigoriev, right? Who else is in there? Right now, it looks like it's Dmitry Andreikin's event. We got Malev, the regular, of course, Mr. Jan Elvis himself. Lots of players jumping in. Nothing like scrolling through, and where am I even listed? Number 27. I'll be outside the top 30 before you know it. All right, well, pretty fun, right? We should have a good title Tuesday here. We'll see who's here. We'll come back and check in with the with it for a minute. And on that note, let's talk a little bit about the title Tuesday. Okay. Let's talk about the title Tuesday and some of our rule updates. One of the things that's really important to us as we continue to invest and put more money into online chess events is that everybody understands that obviously we know who title players are because they have to confirm their identity to us, right? So you kind of trust chess.com in that half, but you also want to know who people are publicly. People just makes them feel better on a security level. There's all the theories. Does someone's public name deter them from cheating more? I don't know if that's necessarily true. We have certainly closed people for fair play violations on this site who are well known. Not going to get into that. If you do want to get into what exactly chess.com does regarding fair play, of course, you can see our public statement along with testimonials. Robert, by the way, you still owe me your testimonial. Pull your proverbial bleep together, Robert Hess. Anyway, you can get into that on your own time. But what I wanted to say is one of the things that we're really excited about moving forward is we will be a little more strict. Not a little more. It will be 100% strict. Anybody who ever wants to play in a cash prize event. For now, that's mainly Title Tuesdays, okay? Because we do those titled cash events for title players. However, things like the Crazy House Championship that we've already done previously and will be doing again. Other events that people will be competing in. Any event, if you ever compete in an event that has cash prizes, you are forever required to display your public name. And if you go back to hiding your public name, you will not be allowed to play in any cash events ever again, and possibly even lose your confirmed account. Title players are given the privilege of having a lifetime diamond membership and a title, you know, with the respect and all the access that comes with that. And so moving forward, we will actually be requiring all title players, anybody who ever wants to compete in a cash event, loses their right for their titled account to be an anonymous titled account. And that's important to us. So you can see that today. Right now, me and my team, in fact, my team is probably wondering where I am to help right now. I'm doing a show. There we go. We got Grigori Oparian in there. He's a young stud coming up. He's due, right? This guy's so good. He's due winning one of these Title Tuesdays pretty soon. So I think Oparian, Grigori, he's going to be my outside pick to win today over Dmitry Andreikin. But one thing to note is that we will be forever requiring that all players have to show their real names to compete in any sort of cash event. So there you go. Very important. And something we wanted to talk about here. We'll keep our eyes on. So before we continue, let's see. I got another daily chess move, don't I? So let's go play that move. And make sure. Okay, so we have an open Sicilian. Nothing special here. Kowalski chess. First time ever playing Kowalski chess. Oh, we have another move. He's already moved as well. I'm actually okay with the direction he's taking. I feel like if he pushes the b-pawn, everybody, if he pushes the b-pawn in a situation that allows me to have en passant, I feel like I've already achieved the purpose of this move, which was, you know, to get space that rivals black space in these lines. One of the things that you have to be careful about that happens in these lines, let me just show you, is so let's say you play something more like this, a more traditional approach, you know, and not necessarily traditional, less aggressive approach. In some of these situations, if you're just developing for development's sake, you know, at some point black expands with b5, and the threats on the queen side start to become such that not only improve black's pieces to get behind the pawns and have space, but also begin to undermine your center, because a very common idea of pushing a b-pawn is to remove the knight from c3 so that e4 becomes weak. That's how the structure kind of works together in black's favor. So one of the reasons you play a5, and I did so kind of aggressively, I play a4 first to prevent b5, and then I play a5. I'm really trying to take away access points and squares. And so if they just go ahead and go for it anyway, you know, even if worst case scenario I'm exchanging, and now if they take with the knight, well, here giving an isolated a-pawn is not a good long-term solution because I've fixed my problem of not having space on the queen side. That's a permanent target if you're keeping track at home. If they take with the a-pawn, okay, that's also fine, but already the effectiveness of going for this, I've had more time to deal with it. I can play rook e1 and back up, and I like white's position here. I feel like white's better. I love the fact that I have the a-file. I'm not sitting with sort of a closed and cramped position on the queen side, and I feel good about it. Oops, I got to save my analysis, so let's go back to the game, and I'm going to go ahead and Rekharovka. Rekharovka, send Korotki, Rekharovka right over, right? Okay, there we go. Well, we're getting closer to the Title Tuesday. We still have a little bit of time. Chess Bay is here. What's up? I'm not sure what you mean by Naka's opponent from yesterday, BJ H13. Did he play a cheater or someone? Did we close? Did Naka have to play? I don't know what happened yesterday. I missed it. I missed Hikaru's approach or whatever happened yesterday. Okay, where are we going with the live chess now? Still no more really big names coming in, about 50 players, so that's okay. Andreikin is nothing to sneeze at, right? He loves this. He's like, I hope MVL and Hikaru and those guys don't show up. He tends to be the heavy favorite in those cases. Okay, what do we do now that we have a few minutes left? We've already solved the daily puzzle. We have made moves in my daily chess games. We have a few more minutes, and yeah, it's Robin Van Kampen, Chess Bay. That's who it is. Gluteus Maximus. In the Chess TV chat. Thank you for taking us through your personal life. You know, your alcoholic beverages, your need to shower. I appreciate it. That's the kind of stuff I need to know. You guys need to know, like, some chess stuff. I'm doing it as a Chess TV host. I need to know what's going on with your personal hygiene and what you're doing in your house alone. Am I still doing CrossFit? You betcha. You betcha. Loves me some good CrossFit. Robert Hess is right there. He has joined now. Okay, Mr. Bobby Hess, y'all. All right, and I know I have a whole bunch of challenges coming in because you guys are always hoping I'm gonna dive in and play some games, even though I said that's not what we're doing today. But you know what? Jack Snipe is in there. That's Benjamin Buck. It's a pretty strong player. All right, fine. I'll play a couple of you guys here. Let's play this guy. Kingarov, 1, 2, 3. And who else we got? As soon as I get some more challenges, we'll play a couple other people. That's how we'll bring the Chess Today show to a close here. All right, we got John H.S. wants to get up in this. Who else we got? Ooh, a C3 Sicilian. It seems kind of fun ending the Chess Today show with a Simul. I think I personally prefer doing puzzles, but fun. All right, so we have an English with G3. So let's see. We'll get at least one more game going here. Let's go right here. This seems like a username that I don't recognize. Chess player 030. Try to take on some new newbies. Nothing against the regulars. We got to play at least one regular so that they feel happy. Right? Happy wife, happy life. Happy chess.com members. Let's take on John HS. He deserves it, right? He's been here a lot. Happy chess.com members, happy website. Happy wife, happy life. All right, he plays a big f4. This is a really aggressive way to approach that position. We're going to talk about it. I'm going with the Scotch against Mr. Chess Player 030. Ooh, Petrov, you know what I'm about. One of the best ways to punish this overextended structure would be to capture here and look for opportunities to just pound through on the dark squares. In fact, I believe in that idea so strongly, I'm going to do it almost recklessly. Whoa, town. Population John S. He's playing the copycat line. I haven't seen moves be this copycatted since like a first grade chess tournament. That was a stupid. I haven't seen anybody be this much of a copycat since Red John. Hashtag mentalist serial killer reference. I haven't seen anybody be this much of a copycat since I don't know. I lost it. Okay. That reference went wild. All right, so he's going for this line here where, all right, so I sacrificed this pawn completely unsoundly, all right? Hashtag noted. But these positions are still ones that the dark squares will be open and weak for the remainder of the game. What I need to be aware of now is my time. What's going on with the time on the tickety? Need to make sure I don't get myself in too much trouble. Development. Should we be aggressive? B-E-A-G-G-R-E-S-S-I-V-E. Yo, be aggressive. Be aggressive. Hey, be aggressive. Be aggressive. Hey. B-E-A-G-G-R-E-S-S-I-V-E. Yo, be aggressive. Be aggressive. Some people wonder why I have that song memorized. I think it's partly because I spent a lot of time going to athletic events with my brothers who played sports. And they always had, like, you know, they always get cheers for them and cheerleaders and whatever, right? Meanwhile, I'm the chess player. I don't have anybody coming along to my tournaments and cheering on for me. So I think that made me a little even more longing to have that experience of playing a sport that someone cheered for. So whenever, like, you know, people are up there just, you know, doing a cheer, spelling out something, I think I just, like, remembered it, right? I think I remembered a number of high school cheers, right? That other people would be like, whoa, Danny just went way back on that one, right? Throwback. No, I'm kidding. Just trying to give you a little bit of a window into what was my sad life, you know. Yeah, right. We've all, you know what, teenage years are depressing years. And honestly, if you don't look back at your teenage years as some of the worst years of your life, then probably you were a very early bloomer, not a late bloomer, which might mean that you're currently not in the best years of your life, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm not casting any dispersions. What I know is if you have no fear of the underdog, you will not survive. Hashtag spoon. You get it, okay? And as somebody who definitely spent most of his teenage years, you know, depressed, wondering who he was, all the same stuff you guys went through, you know, I think it's fair to say that sometimes you have to go through those years, you know, or whatever. I think late bloomers are a real thing, right? And in high school, I mean, like, you know, I mean, geez, right? I was a chess player. You get it, right? Anyway, I don't mean for this show to take a turn down Depressionville if everyone's like, yeah, Danny, we get it. I'm just doing what I normally do with y'all's, which is just speak from the heart. I let you in on my feelings. Yeah, that pawn sacrifice there isn't working out exactly as planned, but it's also not the worst pawn sacrifice that I've ever made. I'll say that. And that's mainly because I've made so many bad pawn sacrifices, right? It's like someone saying, well, it's not the worst day of my life. Well, really? That's because, you know, a couple of years ago you lost your dog. That's of it. That doesn't mean today's a good day, right? But you've had worse days, right? All right, well, this Simul was not as challenging as we would have normally have liked, I guess. Although I could still lose that other game, right, against King Gurov, given that... Okay, so what's going to happen here for realsies? Oh, wow. That's a shocker. Why did he have to do that? I think he overestimated the knight f2 check. I think after he was analyzing something with queen takes a6 and like knight f2, and he thought like rook takes f2 was met by queen d1. I don't know. I think he overreacted there. I think he could have taken a6, queen takes e4, and I was going to continue to try to get an attack against his king. But I was trying to prove a point with this ultra-aggressive e5 sacrifice that you know, attacking the dark squares when someone overextends with the d pawn and the f pawn. This is something you should always have on the forefront of your consciousness. So not like your teenage years. Get that out of your consciousness. Whoop. Bygones, right? So I was trying to prove an educational point when against Mr. King Gurov, you know, I went a little bit all in on the pawn sacrifice. If you're just joining us, I played this very aggressive. I probably could have played e5 earlier for the record, for the big fat record. Just want to go back to that game. Oh, he already resigned. Too bad. So King Gurov. So yeah, I probably could have played e5 like here even, just to prove the point. Because look what happens when you aggressively extend. Boom, 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 boom. Right? In case you missed it, I'm saying boom every time I highlight a dark square. Boom, right? So that's something to watch out for in regards to being overly aggressive with your dark square central expansion, okay? You're welcome. Yes, yes, Massa. Yes, master. All right, only a few seconds here. Do 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 do. Dun dun boom do 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 ba 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 ba. Onion for life. What is your deal, dude? I'm not even singing. I'm humming. Why don't you stop posting negative comments in chat? Haven't you ever seen Bambi? Pretty sure she said, if you don't have anything to type, anything nice to type in an interactive chat room, don't type in the interactive chat room. That's exactly what Bambi's mom said. Okay. At Danny, what chess books do you love the most? Thanks for asking a cool question. I'm super. Thanks for asking. Yay. Okay, hold on. I don't unplug your microphone while you reach over, Dan. Okay, I like this one. I like that one. Ooh, I like that one. Ooh, me likey, yeah? Very nice. Yes, very nice. Very nice. That's good enough for now. Okay, I'll give you some of my personal faves. Oh, I gotta be able to reach that one, but my microphone is short. I should have used the long XLR cable. Can I stretch? Can I stretch? Found it. Yes, I did it. I got all my favorite chess books. Can you guys still hear me? How's it going? You guys still? I'm still here. Woo! Okay, chess books by Dan. Ready? I'm only going to say this once or the next time somebody else asks and they want me to go get books off camera. Zurich International. Zurich Interzonal International Chess Tournament 1953. Okay? Hashtag, you're welcome. Dynamic Chess Strategy by Suba. Also, one of my favorites. This is actually the newer version. There's a version that's just, this is just like a reprinted version. Loves Me, Sheriff, Fire on Board. One of my favorite books. Just so good. But along the same lines of just games analyzed really well by high-level players where they have instructional themes, this is one of the first books, Understanding Chess Move by Move, that I forced myself to work through in this blindfold method that I encourage all my students to do, which was go over all the variations in your head, which this is some of the games get really complicated here. So to do that, for me to push through and do that was actually quite the feat, and it really helped me improve a lot as far as my visualization, and they're just instructive games. Perfect Your Chess by Keaton, very good puzzle book. Along the theme of puzzle books, I have also read this training pocketbook. Believe it or not, as simple as it is and as weird as that girl looks right there on his shoulder, I've read this book like probably 37 times. That may be undervaluing it. If you have all of these positions memorized, it's just good for your chess. So that's actually a very good book. Along the theme of puzzle books still, John Nunn's chess puzzle book might be the best puzzle book on the market. Not finally, Secrets of Modern Chess Strategy, John Watson, phenomenal book. Also, Winning Chess Middle Games by Sokolov, which I didn't grab. And then the one, the only, Uncle Yermolinsky's Road to Chess Improvement. Phenomenal. Rugula. It's a phenomenal book. It might be the best book. It's a great read. It might be the best read. It's a phenomenal, extra, phenomenal, fantastic. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a great year. It's a great book. Read it. All right. So there you go. Those are some books. I'm also reading How to Play Chess Endings. The Mueller Endgame books are phenomenal. All of them. Phenomenal. I will develop a pawn storm against all. I will build a wall against all of the immigrant openings. The King's Indian, the Nimzo-Indian, the Sicilian, all immigrant openings is what I will build a wall against, a pawn wall. A very big pawn wall. There's no problem. The Mueller books are great. There's one, the Fundamental Chess Endings, is more like a little encyclopedia, right? More like that, right? And then we've got this How to Play Chess Endings. So there you go. Of course my impression was bad. I don't care if I don't do my impressions to get your guys' approval. All right? Just like every opinion you give is for yourself, we are all walking projections of ourself, okay? That's all you're doing. I only do these impressions to see if I can get better at them myself, all right? So take that in your chat and smoke it. How about that? How about that? Yeah. Anyway, those are all great books. Of course, there are other great books. To me, the most important thing to understand about when you study books, I mean, okay, I'm looking at my library right now. Great games books by world champions are just always great, right? John Nunn's a phenomenal author. I think Jacob Agard, of like modern day regular authors, Practical Chess Defense, some of the other stuff he's done, Agard is phenomenal. Obviously, if you haven't read the Garry Kasparov, My Great Predecessor series, I mean, that's a great, that might be it's just amazing, an amazing book. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. The Garry Kasparov, My Great Predecessor series. But, the main thing I like to say is you're going to make the most improvements when you really work on how you study and you push yourself to visualize things in your head and you do what's difficult, what you expect to go to a tournament and calculate really at a high level, but you haven't built those muscles up, right? You got to get them. There you go, right there. Okay, you got to build those muscles if you want to be able to lift the weight of calculating in a difficult scenario without a lot of time on your clock, whatever. A lot of people don't like their practice to be hard, so they spend time playing blitz and studying openings because it's easier for you. Openings are the reason why all of you are obsessed with openings. I'm just going to hit you with some therapeutic truth here. Is because it's the area where you feel like you can control the results, even though you're not. That's the illusion. You feel like you can learn a new opening, or it's the opening's fault, or it's the easiest thing to like spoon feed yourself information, right? We feel like we're controlling an area of the game when end games or middle game or strategies are a little more difficult to wrap your head around, and it's just not something you're interested in doing. But openings are probably affecting your results the least out of any other stage or strategical facet of the game. That's a fact. And anyway, but you're going to continue to stay obsessed with openings. You're going to be obsessed with it. It's not my fault. I'm giving myself a pardon from that. There you go. Okay, I'm working on my trump, all right? It's not perfect yet. Forgive me. Any Hooters, thanks for being here, everybody. Papa Cheese is going to bounce. And Mr. Robin VK is going to bounce on in. I also did Alec Baldwin. I'm impersonating Alec Baldwin doing Trump. That's a good one. I'm super. Thanks for asking. That's Al from South Park. What's his name again? I forget. All right. Anyway, thanks everybody for being here. Dyer1074 says he's studying endgames more than openings. That's because you're a smart man or woman. I don't know by your username. Okay. All I know is Dyer sounds like Dylon. So now I've got Dave Chappelle references. The best 5 rappers of all time. Dylon, 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 and Dylon. Okay. So that's what your username got me thinking. Danny, have you ever played Magnus Carlsen? Yes, I have. You should YouTube that. Rensch versus Carlsen. Only Blitz games. I've never played him OTB. Danny, thanks so much. Udaman. No Udaman. Chess Bay. No Udaman. Netflix and Gaming says, but Hutch said that opening theory knowledge is what separates him from GMs. That's completely untrue. Love Hutch. Opening theory knowledge is not what separates amateurs from grandmasters. End of discussion. Be safe, Danny. See you next time. I will be safe. I don't know how safe. My rule's always been safety third. So, you know, what's 1 and 2? That's up to your imagination. But safety is on my list. It's kind of like when people say, I'm going to pray for you. And you're like, don't pray for me, right? Don't judge my life so, like, openly or, you know, like it's like presumptively that you're going to tell me directly you're going to pray for me. However, if you have a list of people you're already praying for, I don't mind being added, right? Because I don't know, right? I don't know what's really going on in the metaphysical universe, right? So maybe if it helps, go ahead. Don't go out of your way to judge me presumptuously about how bad my life is. However, if you have a list, go ahead and add me onto it. I get it. You're already praying for people anyway. Thank you. So that's my theory on that as well. I think I'm really crossing lines today. I think I'm really getting under some people's skins. I love it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good time. Don't go anywhere. Right after this, we are going to keep the banners live on Chess TV. Robin Van Kampen will be going live shortly, right? Henceforth with Robin Van Kampen will be joining. Henceforth with Too Soon Do We Depart. LOL LMFAO ROFLMAO BYB WTD LYC